Hi there, this is Danny O. So I wanted to do something a little different today, and I mentioned this in my last stream. I'm just adjusting my chair here again because the wheels, I need to lock the wheels in place. And basically, I spent what I had in the bank this time, and I'm pretty broke to be honest with you. But what I did is I ended up getting the Aegis Retaliator bomber. And the Aegis Retaliator bomber is an interesting ship. Essentially, it is just a pure torpedo boat, and it's got a cool kind of a design. It has a bunch of turrets that are on it, and it carries 6 size 9 torpedoes. And the torpedoes actually are interchangeable with several different types, and I'll show you a little bit about it here. It is a multi-crew kind of a ship, but it can be flown by one person. The base price on it is just over 4 million UEC in the game, and I don't know if it's actually even purchasable now. I don't think it, or I don't believe that it is. It's a pretty cool looking ship. It does have some ability to be somewhat stealthy, although the 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 design that I have is not include any kind of stealth capability. I'll show you the base one right here. Okay, the base one comes with, and I haven't changed out any of the turrets. These are all manned turrets, or size threes and size twos. So you have and each one has two actual guns on each turret. That's quite a bit of firepower that this has, but again, it has to be a manned ship. So it's broadswords on three of them. So that's 6 broadsword weapons, and then Scorpion G215. I think if I were to actually have this as a manned ship, I would change some of these out. I'm not a big fan of these smaller Scorpions, and I'm not a fan of broadswords either. Then it comes with the Argo 9. These are cross section, and these are not torpedoes. The Typhoon is a torpedo, but then it also has the capability of carrying the Seekers on it. And so what I did is I swapped out the weapons that are on it currently for Seekers. So I'm just kind of playing around with it right now. I haven't really spent a lot of time with it, so it's kind of all new to me. And I'm going to try the torpedoes as well. Now, I believe that the torpedoes are kind of expensive. It's looking like in compare. Well, I guess they're not too bad. They're about 3,500 credits each. But if you go through these torpedoes fairly quickly, and these missiles, they can get quite expensive. Then the initial build comes with full stop military grade C shields, Maelstrom and Arctic coolers, and a crossfield. I did go ahead and change those out. I'm a fan of using the FR66s. So you can see here I've got the 6 Seekers, and the Seekers allow you to lock really far out. I mean, it's a tracking distance of 49 kilometers, which is really far. And in the game, especially, you're not going to hit anything at that distance. But it's interesting that it has that kind of range. And I put on the FR76s, the military grade A shields, left the Maelstrom in there and the Arctic, and then I put on a Jaeger uh, um, quantum travel drive. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a try and just see how it works. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in here today. I really don't want to mess around with it too much today because I'm not really sure how it's going to work with just like a single person manning the ship. And but we'll give it a whirl here. And then what I might want to try to do is I might want to try to round up some people that might be interested in manning the ship and seeing how it does when you've got people on the turrets. So again, it's a fairly big ship. It has about that's another thing I wanted to show you. As far as the hull, the health, if you look at the comparison between the two, and I'll go ahead and I'll bring that up here. So I want to bring up the ships and vehicles, and we'll do a comparison. So if you take a look at any of the Vanguard ships, like the Harbinger, which is kind of the one I've been playing around with, and the Retaliator, and I'll just go ahead and compare the two selected here, and I'll switch back on my screen here. So if you look at the two here, you see that the Retaliator and the Vanguard here, they're all about the same size. As far as the weight of the ship, although the health of the, or I mean, I'm not sorry, the weight, the dimensions of the ship, the hull health points of the Retaliator is almost 45,000, as opposed to the Harbinger, which is 25. So it definitely it can take a pounding. Its mass is not much bigger though. And the base price here, just a little over 4 million. But it is a slow ship. You can see the roll and the pitch speed is fairly slow. And it has a very slow afterburner speed too, and overall top speed. It really is not meant to be used in circumstances where, like you're a single fighter or anything like that. It's really designed to be used as kind of like in conjunction with other ships. So I'm going to go ahead and take a contract here. We'll just keep it something real simple for right now and just see how those torpedoes do. I'm not going to do anything crazy. But I think what I want to do is I want to take one of these, we'll just take one of these high risk targets here to start with and just see how it does. I don't have any, and then the other thing I have to do too here is I have to take the call to arms. We'll go back to the bounty hunter here, and yeah, we'll just take this Isaiah Greenhill one just for the heck of it and just see how it does again. And all of this is just testing. I mean, obviously, like if you were using this in some kind of like, conjunction with a fleet type operations or something like that, obviously your tactics would be completely different. And I mentioned this before, but I really love the Aegis ships. They are really, really amazingly well designed and cool looking ships. And I know, and a lot of it translates into just sheer firepower and strength that the ship has to begin with too. Is it say I'm on a hangar? Okay, so it says I'm on pad 6. Playing musical elevators here. And I know I mentioned this one time before too, but I do not like how long it takes for these elevators. They are really slow here. Well, and it's not that they're just slow. It's the distance to the pads is kind of far. See if we can find another one over here. Oh, there we go. That one just popped up. Okay, so pad 6. So what I'm interested in seeing, and by doing this demonstration, is the lock time that these missiles have compared to the original missiles that it had on it. So again, the original missiles that it had on it are the let's see here, are the Argos, and I switched it over to the Seekers because I'm really curious to see how much faster the Seekers lock on a target. The Argos are incredibly slow. I was really shocked when I tried it. It took like anywhere from like 12 to 15 seconds to get it to achieve a lock. And to me, in a combat situation, that's really abysmally bad. You don't want it to take that long. So anyhow, this is actually a pretty cool looking ship on the inside. If you take a look around here, it has some torpedo bays in the back here. And then if you go all the way to the back here, it's got a turret that you can enter. It actually has, I think I pointed out, it's got the 5 manable turrets on it. But what we do is we go up to, and there is a little bit of a bug here. I ended up going into one of the tunnels back here, and I ended up getting stuck. So it was this one over here. When I went through this section over here, it ended up, I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go up toward the front. Here's some more torpedoes in here. But when I ended up going through this door up here, it ended up locking me out for some reason. It's just all it is just a cabin.
Aegis combat assessment activated. Systems green.
Now again, there is no ability to control any guns on this ship at all from the pilot seat. I'm just going to go ahead and hit these overclocking like on the shields. And then adjust the power distribution again. But all of these weapons are essentially controlled by a human in the seat, and so there is absolutely nothing I can do with them right now. And you can carry a couple of different types of weapons as far as their torpedoes or missiles are concerned, but I have a tendency to just go with, you know, the same ones unless there seems like a reason to do it. Like on the Harbinger, I can carry the size 5s, but these are all the same size. Okay, so looks like we're all set to go. This does have VTOL capability, so if you look at it from the back, if I turn the VTOL off, you see that the engines will flip forward, and then I'll go ahead and put the landing gear up. And then what we'll do is we'll head over to where the target is at. Now this beast turns very slow, and I need to go ahead and make sure I'm tracking the proper contract here. Make sure I've got it actually tracked. And then we'll head on over to where the target location is at and see how we can deal with them. You'll notice on the front that it shows the Seeker missiles. It shows 6 of them, and that they're electromagnetic. I haven't really noticed any difference between the original quantum travel drive and the Jaeger. It seems like they both spool and cool at about the same rate. I'm down to about 150K because I pretty much threw everything I had at this thing. So I'm going to have to work on building back up some cash reserves here. But again, I really like coming in here and just trying all this out. I know, and I've mentioned it before, but this map bug is just absolutely just annoying beyond belief, and I can't believe that we are still dealing with this so many years after. You know, even just like some of the initial releases, it's really just inconvenient that it does that. All right, so we'll go ahead and rendezvous with the beacon here. And one of the things that I found last time is that when I got into the field here, the asteroid field area, maneuverability is just terrible. This is a really bad area to test this out. And hopefully this section won't be too bad. But the last section I was at, I literally just maneuvered around and ended up just crashing into asteroid. Oh, those lock a lot faster. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you the difference. Okay, that's a big difference. All right, let's see how these seekers work in comparison.
Missile lock. Shields under fire.
Okay, I don't think that it actually hit the. I don't think it actually hit the ship. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go out.
Shields up.
And then try to come back in.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete.
Now this ship can definitely take a lot of hits. I don't want to sit there and basically get pounded the whole time, but we'll try to put a couple of seekers on them and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like we took a little bit of damage, nothing major. But again, this is designed as strictly, mainly a torpedo ship. And so it would definitely be helpful to have some people on those turrets. So I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is that I'm going to do some configuration to it, and I'm going to try to invite some people to join me and hop on the turrets just so I can do a demonstration with it with the turrets manned. Yeah, I don't think that that first seeker missile actually hit the target. I think it essentially missed, or it was the AI used countermeasures on it, and it missed completely. But usually the AI will follow you. You know, at least I'll try to get them to follow me out of the asteroid field here. I don't really see any reason to turn this into any kind of a stealth ship. I really don't. It seems like because of its just bulk, and although I could try to play around with some different shields and things like that, and just see if it has any kind of effect on it at all. But to me, it's really not meant to be any kind of a stealth vehicle at all. Okay, let's see, where did he go? Oh, there he is. We'll see if we can put a couple on him.
Missile locked.
Shit.
Okay, good lock.
Missile locked. Shields under fire.
Okay, so that did take him out, and there's one of his buddies over there. And of course we've got a Drake Buccaneer, and this is really kind of sad to waste a missile like this on a Drake Buccaneer. Wow, and that just basically just vaporized that ship. And again, I've got no defensive capabilities at all on this thing as far as weapons are concerned, so I'm going to go ahead and back on out of here. And you can see that the shields are taking some pretty good hits, but it's probably not going to do enough to cause enough damage to the ship to really have any effect on it, especially from a saber. All right, now let's go ahead and we'll head back and we'll repair. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the original missiles on it, and then we'll see the difference. So we'll head on back to Everest here. So you definitely want to use this Retaliator in partnership with other ships. This would not be a good choice just to go in with like a single component, single player kind of thing. It's just not really designed to do that. It is very cool to play around with some of these different builds, though. You can see how slow this thing turns. It's really just does not have anywhere near the same maneuverability of even like a Vanguard Warden.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel complete.
So I wasn't counting precisely, but it looked like between the start of lock and the end of the lock, by the time it actually got down to the point where I could fire, it was about 6 seconds. Just roughly. 5 to 6 seconds, I would say that's probably a pretty close guess. So now I'm going to put on the other missiles, the original, the Argos, and demonstrate the difference between some of these weapon systems. And then at some point in time I want to try out the torpedoes. Now the torpedoes are fairly easy to dodge. So if you're going up against, they're really meant to go up against like a capital ship. And that's really kind of the purpose of the Retaliator, is really to be used in partnership with other ships that are attacking like a capital ship, to come in and just basically torpedo the ship that they're attacking.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
What has it got me going to all over there? Okay. Just make sure I don't end up colliding with the superstructure here. Now, if you've got a group, this would definitely be something fun to use in a group. I can absolutely see that 100%. You know, especially if you're going up against other players' ships, or if you're doing a raid or something like that, it would definitely be something worthwhile to have in that kind of situation. But again, not as a single player. And to me, it's like having to go in there and invite people to come in and fly with you, you know, to do
Proximity
missions.
alert. Hint.
Is I don't know, that I
Proximity
just
alert.
don't
Dead.
get into doing that, you know, just inviting people on the fly.
Proximity alert. Stored.
All right, let's go ahead and
Proximity
land
alert.
here. We'll do
Hint.
a quick. I'm gonna do
Landing
a
complete. How does it
repair, but
stay?
I'm not going to do a rearm here because I'm going to swap these out. So you can see 15,000 UEC to restock 4 of those missiles, or 5 of them. So we'll just do a quick repair and a refuel here.
Hydrogen fuel at 100%.
But it is a really amazing ship design. I'm blown away with how cool it looks,
Engines
and
offline.
like I said, the Aegis ships are just really interesting vehicles. All right, so we'll just, and there's a turret up there too, and I don't want to climb up the ladder. I like the mechanics of the way that they have the ladder set up. It's pretty amazing. All right, let's see here. We got a elevator here. We'll go ahead and use the elevator. We'll go ahead and close that up. Let's see here. Do I send it back up? We'll just send it back up that way. All right, awesome. And there's the torpedo bay open. And there's the other torpedo bay open, or missile bay. So it's a pretty slick looking ship. You know, it's kind of hard to actually get a visual on how big it is, but it's definitely huge. It had a little bit better lighting over on this area that we're at right here. All right. All right, we'll go ahead and go on in, and then we'll swap out the weapons for the Argos, and you'll see why I actually changed them. So Everest Harbor is massive, and just getting to from one section to the other, it just takes a lot of time. And I'm on pad 7, so I'm probably further away. So we'll see how far away we are when we get back to the lobby here. I know some of them are about 6 or 7 kilometers. Okay, that's not too bad. It just took a long time to get the elevator here. Okay, we'll go ahead and store this. The other thing is the velocity on those seeker missiles is really high. I'm not. I'll have to take a look at the specifications, and I can write down the difference between them. But it seems like the Argos are just really slow too. So we'll go over here and we'll configure the ship. Okay, and we'll leave a couple of seekers on here, just for the heck of it, and then, or we'll put on 3, and then on the rest of them we'll go back to the Argos. And again, these are all size 9s. So you can see the IX there. So we've got 3 Argos and 3 seekers. All right, and then we'll pull it back up again. Well, let's see, get a contractor first. Okay, it looks like the only thing that I've got is high risk, so we'll take this Clipper, Janice Clipper McPherson. I just wanted to try this Retaliator because it's such a dang cool looking ship. Pad 6. I just have to admit, by looking at the pictures, those are just amazingly cool looking craft in here. Alright, so it's tracked. But the biggest problem that you're going to run into if you use a ship like this, a Retaliator, is that if you don't have anybody manning those turrets and you get jumped by a bunch of snub fighters, you're going to be in a lot of trouble really quick. And especially if you get something that like a Mantis that can prevent you from jumping out and it's jam your quantum drive, you definitely are going to be in a lot of trouble. And so you don't want to be going into a situation where you're all alone in this thing. And I believe that there's a turret down there too. I'll have to check out the turrets one of these times here and just see what they look like. And when we get back, we can actually do a little tour of it here.
Aegis combat assist.
We'll go ahead and clear the route. Or put the route in. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the shields. Those FR-76 shields are just absolutely outstanding. Good enough.
Launch complete.
Make sure I put the VTOL up and gear up.
Landing gear rejected.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually go through here. Let's see. May put me through the atmosphere.
Thank you, and please visit again.
That's going to say it's obstructed. Okay, so I got to fix that. Oh, that's a big radar too. This map is just absolutely annoying beyond belief when it screws up like this. And I'm double clicking, double right mouse clicking it. It is just really annoying. I want them to fix that. That is just stupid. All right, we'll go ahead and set that route in. I don't care if that is lag on the server, or if it's just, whatever it is. That just to me, for that to be a problem that has existed for so long is just inexcusable. Okay, so now you're going to see the difference between using the Seekers and the Argos. So I'm going to switch over to the Argos. And they have different ranges too, so you have to be careful. There's a minimum and a maximum range. So yeah, you're like, okay, well, man, I can lock those missiles up from like 30 kilometers out. It's like, holy cow. But first of all, you're never going to hit anything at 30 kilometers. It's just not going to happen. You might hit a non-maneuvering ship at that distance. Okay, there's Janus. All right, so locking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 seconds it took to lock that. That's just bad. And I believe the velocity is slower too. Okay, we'll switch back to the Seeker. I can show you why. Okay, so it basically took her out. Okay, there's the buddy. All right, 8 kilometers out. We'll switch back to the Argos. I'll show you why this is a problem. Okay, so we're already taking fire from this guy over here that's closer, and now I can't maneuver. You see what you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, time to leave. Because now we're a sitting duck. And I can't even do anything. My quantum system is jammed. And this is exactly the situation that I was talking about. Is that now I've got a ship that's literally on me. Okay, there we go. I actually was able to get out of the quantum system jamming, which is really weird. If it were a player and I were trying to get out of that quantum system jamming, I would be screwed. They would be really tight on me, and they would be stopping. It would be preventing me from getting in there or getting out of that location. So anyhow, I hope that was helpful. The whole idea of demonstrating the ships that are in here, like I've been doing, some of the different capability, is that I could save you a little bit of time if you go in there and you want to try and do some of this stuff. And you're not really sure if you want to play around with some of the different ships and their capability. I mean, I'm kind of doing this so that you don't have to really do that. I don't know why it did that. I just wanted to go to Hurston. Okay, there we go. So it gives you it's an opportunity to demonstrate some of the capability of the ships without you wasting a lot of time and energy on your own doing it. And I'm going to be adding more as I go along here. And what I can do is I can drop out. I'm going to go ahead and land here real quick. And what I can do is I can drop out, and I can show you on the website the difference between some of the missile systems. Let's see here, and just getting over to turning this thing around so that I can get. Okay, so there we go. We got to get over to orbital marker that I can use to get over to where Everest Harbor is located.
Quantum travel initiated. Quantum travel.
Sometimes you're almost hoping somebody comes along and destroys you so that you don't have to go through all of this. Okay, it's over here. Alright, there's OM1. We'll be able to get to Everest Harbor from OM1.
Quantum travel initiated.
It's actually pretty cool, though. You can actually feel the weight of this ship. It's pretty incredible. You can, when you're turning it, I mean, you can actually feel the mass, or it gives you the sensation of mass compared to flying something like a Raven, you know, like a Saber.
Initiated. Quantum travel complete.
I think that people actually, when they see a Retaliator or they see a ship coming in like this or a Hammerhead, they just automatically assume too that there are people on those turrets. So I'm going to build up some funds tomorrow or later this evening and tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna upgrade those turrets on this thing, and then invite some people in and see if we can do some missions with it. See how we do when those turrets are manned.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Again, those missiles are those Seeker missiles are pretty potent. I definitely wouldn't want to have one coming at me if I were in a ship. You'd definitely be popping countermeasures with those size 9s. Those things are nasty. And it's not just the fact that they have potential energy for damaging the ship if they impact you. It's the blast radius of the missile itself is what's really nasty.
Landing gear deployed.
So we'll do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison here in a second. We'll just hop on out, and then I'll show what the differences between them.
Proximity alert in. Proximity alert point.
This landing, this takes so much time compared to
Proximity alert.
landing a Saber.
Complete.
All right, we'll go ahead and
Landing
repair.
complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And I didn't take hardly any. I mean, I took no damage, so from that. Then you can see that the shields are tough. And just the hull itself is fairly sturdy.
Hydrogen fuel at 100%.
All right, looking good. We'll go ahead and shut down and
Offline.
step on out. We'll do a quick little tour of the ship here while we're here. All right, so from the pilot seat, we actually this is a turret up front here. Okay, and this actually is upside down pointing forward. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. I love that flipping over here. All right, we'll go ahead and head on up here. And we've got another turret here, and this is obviously up, pointing up. I love the way that they've designed these turrets. These are amazing. All right, so we've got a forward-looking turret here on the top, toward the cockpit. All right. So that's the two on the front. And then if we go toward the back here, we've got a bunk area here. That's all this is. This is just a bunk. All right, we'll go ahead and climb on down. All right, then we'll head on toward the back here. Okay, and I ran into this problem before. I have doors that will not open, and if I go through that section B over there, I will not be able to get out. Okay, there we go. So you can see the torpedoes have been expended. All right, and this just takes you inside the torpedo room right here. That's all that is, the missile room. So you can walk around and you can take a look in there. And over here, I believe that this is just a shower. And why, you know, I don't know why I need a shower. All right, then we've got a turret down here, or up above. And we should have actually two. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is just a door. Okay, and that's the same thing here. That's another door. So that's just a hatch that you can get in and out of. All right, now we'll go to the back. Not really sure what we got here. Looks like you can just access to the torpedo bays back there. We'll head on back to the back here, and then I believe over here we're going to have a turret. Yep, enter turret here. So this is the top left side turret. And we've got two of these, and then there should be a rear turret. Okay, so these have really outstanding view. So you've got a really good view on all targets potentially coming in to attack this vehicle. All right, so then we've got one that's in the back here. And it should say enter lower turret here. Okay, so this is the number 5. It's going to be down and on the back. And it's going to flip you over. Oh, there we go. All right, and this is a rearward looking turret on the bottom side. Okay, so those are our 5 turrets, and if I come back over here on this side, this is where I would go to enter the turret that's on the right-hand side. So, pretty cool ship. I mean, it's got a lot of capability, and it's got a lot of potential power, you know, if you use it the right way. I think we can probably just open this door and just drop right on out. If we don't get injured in the process. Nope. You can go ahead and close that. I don't know if I can close it from the outside or not. Doesn't look like I can. Okay, alright. So we'll go ahead and hop on back in and we'll take a look at some of the different missile configurations on this. In fact, I can just go ahead and exit from here. It'll store the ship. Cool. All right, so we've got the Argos 9. All right, then we'll go ahead and we'll check this out. So we got the Argos 9 right here. And then the Seeker 9. And then what's the other one? It is the Torpedo. Is the Typhoon 9 Torpedo. We're going to go ahead and compare the selected here. Oh, I need to bring up my screen. So, okay, so I'm displaying the screen now. All right, so here are the three different weapon selections that you can have for the Retaliator. So I have a if you're looking at let's do it by the potential damage, the highest level of damage. Okay, so it looks to me like the electromagnetic seeker actually has the higher level of damage, but that again you got to remember as whether or not that is actually going to get to the target. And so again, we have to make sure that we're very clear on that. That if you don't actually strike the target or hit the target, then that missile is essentially you've wasted it. And the ship only carries 6 of them. So you have to be very, very careful about how you use them. Now I'm showing, and this is really interesting here because I didn't realize this. So it's got a tracking signal minimum of 11. I'm not really sure what that means, but we've got this is interesting here. So if you look at the Argos 9 has a minimum lock range of 1,000 meters. The Typhoon and the Seeker have a minimum lock range of 2,500 meters or 2,600 meters. But look at the difference in the lock time. And this is really critical. So with the Argos, not only is it low damage, but it's 12.22 seconds to actually achieve a lock, as opposed to the Seeker and the Typhoon, which have 5 seconds each. So I knew it was close to that. I didn't know exactly what it was, but to me, it's looking like the Seeker overall is a much, much better missile overall than either the Typhoon or the Argos. Okay, and then the Seeker has an explosion radius of 15. I don't. I think that's probably going to be like 1,500 meters. Not exactly sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's 15. That's it. 15 meters. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem like a lot. The explosive radius. So if it gets within 15 meters of the ship and explodes, then it's going to cause damage. Okay, so the Argos is 15 and a quarter. The Typhoon is 15.75, and then the Seeker is 15.13. But if you're not scoring a shot on that, or a hit on that, obviously you're not going to do any damage. It has a minimum and a maximum radius. Okay, and then the Seeker, okay, so the Typhoon is faster. It's 968 meters per second. So I've noticed that guys will tell me in the game that the Typhoon is actually a better missile to use. So, but if you compare the two, 2,600 meters lock range minimum, 50,000 maximum. I think that I would almost want to try these Typhoons out tomorrow at 968 meters per second and see if that makes any difference. Like if you lock the other ship at, say, like 8 or 9 kilometers, and then you fire that missile at like 7 or 8, and see how it performs. See if it's actually able to get in there and actually do enough damage on that one shot. What you're looking for with these is you're literally looking for a one-shot kill. Now the only problem is that the typhoons are cross section as opposed to electromagnetic, and I would prefer to go with electromagnetic over cross section. But we'll give them a try tomorrow and see how they fare. I'm interested in seeing the difference. Anyhow, that is pretty much all I've got for today. I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to Star Citizen. And what we'll do is we'll play around with that a little bit more tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up with Typhoons and see if I can round up some guys that are interested in going in and doing some missions with me tomorrow. And we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Anyhow, that's pretty much it for today. So this is Daniel signing off. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really don't have a lot of people that are subscribed to my Twitch channel, and I know a lot of people are probably busy at the time that I actually do my Twitch streaming. I use it mostly Monday through Friday just as a convenient tool to show what I'm doing in the game. And then I transfer everything over to my YouTube channel. So it's Han Fastoff Daniel O. HANFASTOLFEDANEELO. And, you can check it out on the YouTube. I put everything up there if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing. And catch you next time. So, Daniel out.